Hey, there he is. We do it for the people.
Thought I was going to be late, but I made
Nah,
it.
you
Just in
good.
time.
You good. So the track is yielding at Hawthorne. They took the maiden race off, which is fine. Hard to fathom. We don't know if we should scratch or not. We'll take a look at it.
Well,
And then I didn't know you wanted to look at Colonial Downs. I put the thumbnail up for Saratoga and Delmar.
it doesn't matter.
But it don't matter, yeah.
Let me. So I've asked the people. Saratoga Mississippi Rainbow, less than 5 miles last night. The track. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be on the turf. I just got a text from Clay Sanders, a message on Twitter. Thank you, Clay. I think we're going to be on the turf at Saratoga today. So what I texted you last night was that I wanted to do Colonial and Del Mar. And the reason I did that was because the weather looked good. For Saratoga, it looked iffy, but it looks like Saratoga missed the rain. So I think we're going to be on at Saratoga today. What I'm trying to find out, Colonial has delayed their post time by an hour because of a power outage.
Oh.
So they are, and I think they got some rain last night, but for whatever reason, it's very hard to figure out what happened weather-wise in a town in the past. You can get a weather forecast, but if I want to know, did it rain around Colonial Downs last night? I don't know how to find that online. And I did look, and I found some places that had some old data. So I don't know if we're going to be on the turf or not today at Colonial. I don't even know for sure if Colonial is going to be running today because, as I said, they've already delayed the first post to 2:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Initially set for, let me find out what time Colonial was supposed to go to post today. Supposed to be 1:30. So yeah, they delayed it by an hour. I'm not seeing anything that says off the turf yet. So this is what I think we should do. I'm going to assume that Colonial is going to be on, even though I think they're probably not going to be. We'll give out the plays, and if the races come off, then people just don't bet. And then there is a horse that I had a trip note on at Saratoga.
Well, we should definitely talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because it's really the only race I think I like at Saratoga because I don't. There's also the 5.5 turf sprint stakes race. Maybe we could handicap that in real time for the people because we do it for the people.
And then, yes, we do. And for ourselves.
Right. Especially you yesterday. You made more money yesterday than I did on our play.
Yeah, the first pick, My Funny Uncle, I made about $6,000 on that race, and it would have been more if we would have got a better trip from my double to the next race. We were rank and kind of checked.
Yeah, you had that.
And I put a trip note in for that horse. So
yeah, that 4 horse in the next race, I remember that's a definite horse you'll want to watch next time out. But I think the play I'm most excited about today is in the Del Mar finale, which is actually not that late. It's only 8:37 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So
that's not late?
No, it's not. Usually I feel like the Del Mar finale is I guess sometimes they have late post times, I guess. But so let's do this. Why don't you want to start with my Saratoga tread lightly play in race 3 or
let's dive in.
Let's
pull out the PPs. What race? Race 9, 10? 10.
No, race 3.
Wait, 3.
Race 3. It's a mile and 3/8 on the turf. Non-winners of one other than. And I had this horse in my stable mail. It's the 1A in time. 1A. Scroll down a little bit. So.
Oh, shit. Listen, before you start, we had one cocky guy on Twitter. So just recognize a TOD and play it, and that's it. That's what handicap is. And you're like, pretty much. I thought that was funny.
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. It's a
Yeah,
joke. All right,
yeah.
good. He's a friend.
I've known
All right.
him. I've known him more than 20 years. He's
All
he's
right,
not a
cool.
horse player,
All right.
but you can tell he's paying attention. But I actually got a Twitter message this morning from someone who watches the show, and asked why, since I didn't say we were going to handicap anything from Saratoga today, he said, well, I guess In Time isn't one of your plays, because I noticed, he goes, I noticed she had a trip of death last time. And I said, actually,
Yeah.
I made a trip, and I added her to my horse watch on DRF, because I do want to look at playing her back. But here's the thing, and it's funny, you mentioned the tweet that my friend made about, oh, just play trip of death. That isn't actually what we do. It may seem like
Right.
that sometimes, but you do have to still handicap the race and see if the horse fits. And
Yeah,
in
you have to
case,
look at the pace scenario.
right,
Yeah, you got the trip of death. Are you going to get a trip of death again? Are you going to get the lead? Are you not going to get the lead? What post do
right.
you have? Who's riding now? There's a lot of different things.
There are, and to be honest, I think all of that plays nicely for the 1A In Time, because I think In Time with Dylan Davis for Christophe Clement probably is going to be on the lead in a race where there isn't that much speed in here. We have to see scratches, of course. There are some others that, like to be forward early. For instance, the 8 High Stick, I think we can expect is probably going to be near-ish the early lead. I don't think will show the speed that I expect In Time to show. So talking about a potential trip of death, I think that 8 might get a trip of death, which might mean you adjust your exotics a little bit, maybe by not using High Stick in that spot. I think we're going to get maybe 9-2 or lower on In Time. That's the morning line. Let's see if the other half of the entry stays in the race, because honestly, if the other half of the entry, down on the rail, Haystack, not to be confused with the 8 on the outside, which is High Stick.
Right.
The 1 Haystack, Tyler Gaffalione, I think also makes quite a bit of sense in here and is probably going to save a lot of ground. So here's something else I would normally not do. I think it's, if both the 1 and the 1A stay in the race, I think there's a very real chance they run 1-2, which means you get a great place price, because if both halves of an entry run 1-2, then there's no one else to share the place money with.
But you're not advocating a place bet, are you?
You know what?
Are you?
Here's what I'm advocating. If Saratoga's third race is part of any contest today, which it may be for early birds or whatever, I think the 1 would be a great contest pick if they're both in, because you could have a scenario where you get extra value for your place price. We know that the 8 horse is going to get some play. And there's also a Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz, who is, by the way, the 8-5 morning line favorite and hasn't raced since October. That horse is the class of the field based on the grade 3 placing at Belmont at Aqueduct last fall. Ran a race that was so-so on the previous try at Saratoga. What I'm wondering is number 7, Idea Generation, is only showing 1 prior start on the Saratoga turf, but we can clearly see there are 2. If you look at the running lines, in the past, it says only 1 prior start at Saratoga. I'm wondering if, I know why. It was a non-wagering event, so it's not registering. So yeah, okay, I remember this one. This was the race where the outrider pulled them up early, so that was the first career start. In fact, it's not even showing as a race that counts. So anyway, disregard that. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Bottom line, the 7, Idea Generation, Chad, Irad, graded stakes place, very likely to be the favorite in here. The 8, also going to get some support, probably because of that high buyer speed figure. We're going to, people aren't going to let this one go off at a high price, which might set it up for some good value on the entry, the 1 and the 1A, with In Time coming off a trip of death and a solid effort. likely to be alone on the lead today. That would be the tread lightly play of the day, I think. Let's wait and see what the tote board says. Let's see if both halves of the entry stay in.
Yeah, I like it. This one did win at 10 furlongs out in France. I think it was France. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think you can get an extra 16th. I think it's an extra 16th, right?
It would be is this amount 3/8? It'd be an extra eighth.
Eighth, excuse me. Extra eighth.
Yeah.
And then for me to put a trip note like this in with the asterisk and the TOD like that, it must have been kind of bad, and I was probably swearing at the TV at the time. The 7 won a big race, or didn't win, but got a big number on a yielding turf course. Is it going to be firm over there today?
I think we're expecting it to be firm, yes, because I don't like, as it said, according to my Twitter friend, we didn't get any rain there last night.
Yeah. Okay, so that one really moved up on a yielding turf course last October as a 3-year-old. It did, run against older in a stake there, but it appreciated the yielding, I feel, and maybe it regresses or needs a race. It is Chad Brown, but it's one again. Maybe we throw that one out like the other Chad Brown one we threw out yesterday. High stick again, potential TOD there. So yeah, the entry does look formidable on top, and I'm gonna have a win bet, and of course, a $5 or $10 try. I'm probably not gonna. I mean, well, it's gonna be worth playing a try in here. Are we gonna have enough horses?
And I just realized we have a second Chad in here.
Is there a second Chad that we're missing?
Yeah, the 4.
Okay, maybe that's one I throw in instead of the favorite, because it's got a race under its belt.
I think, again, I hate to keep saying this. Let's see who scratches out of here. I think the play for me is maybe just a pad the bankroll with 1A and don't try to mess it up with the exotics.
Yeah, the 4 is only a 3-year-old, so I'd rather have those face their own age this time of year. Maybe later on you can try older. Manny Franco takes them out. Yeah, I think we just maybe bet a win bet if you want to throw some doubles in there. But I do like the entry. I do like the 1A here. Looks good.
Yeah, and it's the 5 just deny. Just one going this distance, but seems to be like maybe has reached the plateau. I mean, sometimes I look at buyers to see if a horse is, moving in a direction, improving, and sometimes you can see that a horse maybe isn't improving. And I do think the 8 is probably a horse that's going to run okay if they can avoid the trip of death.
Let's for people that don't know what the trip of death is, why don't we
trip of death,
watch it? Let's just watch the race.
Yeah, well, very perfect. Let's do it. This is going to be in which one is in time?
We are the 7 here. Oh.
Still an unsettled day of the series.
So let's this should be a pat. I mean, I was pretty mad with the way I wrote it in.
Speed from a new piece.
So this horse was 10-1 that day. We must have played this horse.
Yeah, and we were probably mad because of because it was an opportunity to make some money. So right now you're 3 wide, and we're pressing the pace.
This is textbook trip of death. Would be within one length of literally if your horse's nose is within, I would say within the tail of the leader, and you're one path to the outside. My theory on this is that, of course, there's ground loss because you're in the 2 path, which you want to keep to a minimum in turf routes. And then what I think is maybe horses in this position, the position that number 7 in this replay in time is in right now, they just can't really relax. Like the leader's able to go along at their pace. They don't really feel like they're in a fight in this spot. Whereas the horse that's in second is maybe always feeling like they're just not quite getting there. And it's just not the most relaxing position. You've got nothing in front of you, so no forward cover. And what I've noticed in 30 years almost of playing the horses is that I bet horses many, many times that get this exact trip, and it seems like they almost never fire. And it's weird because in dirt, you would say this was a great trip on a dirt race, on a dirt, on a dirt track. But on turf, it just seems like the horses never fire and never run on.
Yeah, it wasn't that fast of a pace, really, for nine furlongs.
Yeah,
and you're trying here, but
yeah,
sometimes the leader will keep going. Maybe the 6 wasn't that good, and sometimes they back out like that. Usually, this was actually a good race by the 7. It really was, and that was a textbook trip of death.
Yeah, it totally was. And then that race was at 1 1/8 miles. Now we're stretching it out a quarter of a mile farther.
I'm impressed with that race, actually. That was not a good trip.
No, and it was the first start since April. It wasn't that long of a layoff. It was only it wasn't even really that long at all. But
I'm not sure with Jordan.
Yeah, and today we get a uncontested lead. Is probably going to be able to go as slow as the rider wants. Now you do have some really strong riders in this field chasing. You've got Tyler, you've got Flavia Pratt, Manny Franco. We mentioned Irad Ortiz. I mean, they're not going to. I don't think they're going to let Dylan Davis get away with absurd fractions, but I do think he'll be alone, and I think that's an advantage, especially going 3 turns on the turf.
All right, race 3, number 1.
Dylan just pinged me. He wants on, so he wants you to send him the link.
Yeah, I'll send Dylan a link. Got a little Dylan Donnelly action.
That's good. We can do the Del Mar.
AKA Kyle Fry.
Carl Fry.
Wait, Carl. Yeah, I called him Carl.
Yeah, his jockey's real name is Kyle Frey. I think you called him Carl Fry.
That's right. I already forget what his name is. Yeah, we're gonna send Dylan. It's the link is coming, so just bear with me here.
And then while you're doing that, I'm gonna.
And there's your pick on the play, or on the screen. I mean.
Yeah, in time 9-2, and I think if you're in online contests, it might be a good pick because we might run 1-2 with both halves of the entry if they both stay in. And I'm going to be checking my Twitter feed in real time here to see if there are any updates to the turf condition or any scratches. But I tell you what, while we're waiting for Dylan to join, you want to kind of in real time handicap the 9th race at Saratoga. It's the Grade 3 Caress Stakes at 5.5 furlongs on the turf. I haven't looked at this. I did glance at it last night, literally for like a minute. So I don't have much of an opinion here yet. There was one horse that I wanted to dig in deeper because we might get a good price. And I remember thinking, if that morning line holds, this one could be live. So it's a 5.5 furlong Grade 3 for fillies and mares, 4 years old and up. Let me take a quick look at what the pace. So from the outside, the 10 Roses for Deborah.
Coffee Maker. Why does that sound? I mean, I know it's coffee with dew, but Coffee Maker.
You've played that horse before. I think that horse was the 4 horse at Gulfstream one day when you had it. I'm not sure if I'm 100% right about that.
That has to be a while ago.
It was.
Or
I think we were both on it that day. Now that since you mentioned it, let me look and see. Did it win?
Remember. It sounds familiar. No, well, it won
as
a favorite a couple of times, but I don't know. It sounds familiar. Like we played it.
I think honestly it was a different coffee horse.
Yeah, I think it was. Because you're right. I think I had it in a contest, and I think it was at Gulfstream. Yeah,
and it was a contest. And we were at Hawthorne. It was a Hawthorne NHC qualifier. God, and that's gonna drive me nuts. Anyway, so
I know.
So when I looked at this race initially, it looked to me like there's a lot of speed in here. And I kind of wondered if maybe the race would set up for a closer. So I started digging around at who I thought could be maybe a strong closer that wouldn't lose contact with the field early. And I think that led me initially to the 7, Run for the Hills, Jose Ortiz. Now, I'm not calling that a pick yet,
I do like that horse a little bit. I think it had some trouble and maybe a little wide. I have to go back and look when I was scanning this race. Yeah, if you look at that race 2 back, 6-7 wide upper. I watched a replay of it, so that was interesting.
So
but
that
yeah,
horse,
go ahead.
Okay, so another horse in here also ran. So there's a horse named Overcharged who's not in this race, but won the Unbridled Sydney on May 3rd, Churchill Downs. Scratchy throat today. Overcharged is currently in the middle of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 race win streak. Many of them coming at fairgrounds, some of them in state bred races. Just won a stakes race at Lone Star. Has put up some very big buyer speed figures at the fairgrounds. Has won 15 of 18 career. Anyway, I only mention that because that horse won a stakes race Derby weekend, a grade 3 at Churchill. Okay. And the 2 horses I just mentioned, Secret Money and Run for the Hills, the 2 and the 7 today in this race, both ran that day and were unable to run down Overcharged.
Right.
So far, everybody's been unable to run down Overcharged. And then Secret Money went up to Woodbine for Brendan Walsh and ran in the Royal North, finished second, was disqualified, and placed 7th. Probably an off-the-pace type in here, just like the 7 Run for the Hills. Did Carl Fry join us yet, by the way?
I don't see Carl. I sent them a link. I know who Mark would pick. By the way, Chris Inman said because he plays Saratoga every day. I was talking to him on text. He said they got a little bit of rain last night, but should be firm.
Yeah, that jives with what I was told on Twitter today. So I think that's good news. So what I would say in this 5.5 furlong turf sprint stakes race, the 9th, what I'm going to do is probably just hope that they go eye-popping fractions early, and we get the 2 or the 7 to the winner circle.
Well, Coffee Maker, it will be prominent early, right? The 3 is going to be prominent, pressing. The 1 has no choice. It's not fast enough, but I don't know what the 1's going to do, actually. I hate being on the rail on turf sprints. You know, an interesting horse in here, and I know it's one that Marco would pick, is the 9. Zeitlos. It's only run once on turf. It's an Oaklawn horse that, was pretty salty.
Yeah, ran big at Kentucky Downs. Yeah,
and that, the number, whatever, 79, but it was a 3-year-old last year, obviously. But that was a big purse. It's probably $180,000 purse. And it might have got a little tired. I mean, as you know, 6.5 furlongs at Kentucky Downs is like 7 furlongs or more, with all the hills and how grueling it is. But it's one, I mean, for Asmussen to send it here with a nice outside draw, it looks interesting. I would definitely put the Zeitlos underneath.
I completely agree with you because it looks like this one's got a half sibling out in California that has multiple. Well, has 1 turf win.
Yeah, I have it up right now. It's run a lot of turf races, including a win in a maiden special weight. So, and it won an optional claiming 50 starter.
And the mare was a turf sprint graded stakes winner in Australia.
Yes. So
okay, so how about that? What about? I mean, I hate doing exacta boxes, but what if we did a 2-7-9 exacta box? We got 12 to 1 on the 2, 12 to 1 on the 7, 15 to 1 on the 9. I mean, it seems like a good time to do a 3-horse exacta box to me.
Yes, it does. And we do have Carl Fry, aka Double D. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Tired.
Good morning, Carl.
What time is it over there? It's not even 7 o'clock yet.
6:55 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
I could wake up at 5:30, or I could wake up at 10:30 in the morning. I got, whatever.
I slept in today. I slept in to 5 a.m.
You
Wow.
slept in to 5 a.m.
Yes.
I was scratching my ass at 5 a.m.
Nice.
So,
Way to do it.
oh man, yeah. So we're looking at the steak at Saratoga, Dylan or Carl,
Nice.
and Justin found a couple of nice horses here that have a key race against a horse named Overcharged. And I want to throw in the 9 Zeitlos. I think it's Zeitlos.
And the 2. Oh, the 2. Yeah, we have 2.
Just because I know the horse from Oaklawn and it has a nice turf race and turf pedigree for Steve Ashby.
Hey, nice hit, by the way, Steve-O, yesterday.
Well, hey, listen,
Let's
Justin
go.
gave out the winner, and I recognized the bomb underneath, and that's what you got to do,
baby.
man.
Teamwork.
It's teamwork. We
Man,
do
if
it for the people.
Only if people could be a part of this group chat. Could you imagine?
We're gonna. Hey, by the way, this might be a good time to mention.
A lot of people want to join the group
Well,
chat.
we might be turning to the dark side and moving to some kind of like subscription model, or
What?
yeah, we might. I don't know.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
Look, maybe we open up the group text to people that want to pay for it, but it's like our good friend Frank Mastari says.
But it's a good. We're like actually friends that we didn't meet because we wanted to like learn picks from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm saying not the current real group text. What I'm saying is come up with a service where, people who want to join it, if there's like a read only type thing that we can. I don't.
That's got to that's like a part like WhatsApp or something like that.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do with Coffee with Do?
Well, I don't know. We might keep doing it. We might turn this into the Lone Speed show. I don't know. There's a lot of things we could do. We might keep it. I don't know. There's a lot of options.
And then we could wear Lone Speed gear. Could you imagine?
Man, I would love to have a Lone Speed visor and
or
a t-shirt.
Sweatshirt.
Are those ordered yet, Justin?
It's there are some things in the works.
Yeah, they're on their way. They're stuck in.
I want to say I first asked for this merch back in 2020.
I'm working on it. Hey, Dylan, did you handicap Del Mar today yet?
No.
All right. So, Steve-O, now that we're done with Saratoga, can we, and then before we go to Colonial, which we may not even do because they may be off the turf, can we go to the 8th race at Del Mar?
Yes, we can. Maiden special weight, going a mile.
Yeah. So this is not a typical Coffee with Do play. It's not a typical Justin Do play. But I've got an angle here. There are a number of things to be concerned about with this horse, but we might be getting an obscene price. As you mentioned, we're doing a mile on the turf, 3-year-olds and up, maiden special weight. It's a number of very lightly raised horses. There is one in here that I was prepared to bet heavily in a contest last November. I was at Hawthorne at the time. I don't remember exactly which contest it was. Maybe a TVG contest, whatever. But the number 3 Nation, I think, is really good. But that one's been off a long time. It was entered in a stakes race that day, scratched out. I think it was a stakes race. Scratched out of it. Going to take support here for sure. I want to direct your attention.
The 8?
No. I would wait. The one that are you saying the one that I was going to pick?
Yeah.
No. The one that I'm going to be playing today, and I am a little bit apprehensive about it because it's sort of a hold your breath, but I've seen some things I like, is the number 11 Hurricane Way. A first-time gelding for Dan Blacker. He's going dirt to turf. Steve-O, can we pull up the replay for the career debut, April 4th? Yeah. We are the 1 horse. So we're breaking from the rail on debut here. And let's just kind of watch it. The chart note says had an awkward, I think it's an awkward crossing or something. I've watched the head on. I don't really see anything all that awkward, frankly. So I wouldn't say this horse had a bad trip. You see there, yeah, I mean, a little bit squirrely there going over the dirt, not a big deal. But here we are, we're like an 1/8 of a mile into the race, and the horse is already, 8 lengths out of it. The eventual winner, I'm pretty sure, is the 6 in here, who's on the rail kind of towards the back of that first group. sort of ahead of the 4. And our horse, Hurricane Way, is still last in the green jacket. An opening quarter 23 flat. Nothing really all that noteworthy.
One turn race, that's not very quick. I know these are young horses.
Also, I forget that there's some weird time, like it's weird. The run up is weird there, I think. So so the 1 here you see down the inside in last, and you're thinking probably not going to make much of an impact. Then the rider sort of gets a little bit out there, gets in the clear, and watch. There's one crack of the whip here.
Oh yeah, responding nicely. Oh, I like this. Yeah.
And this wasn't like a closing sprint or, with a race backing up. And then the gallop out is.
Boy, that was a nice effort there in debut.
It really was. They had a massive.
Whoa! Massive. You know how I love gallop outs.
Oh my God!
Some people hate them and laugh at me, but I like them. I want here. Would you rather have your horse gallop out like that or stop? I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm totally with you. And then if we look at the horses out of that race, the buyers improved for pretty much all of the runners. The winner, Sorrento Sky, finished 4th of 6 in a stakes race, closed nicely at a mile. I mean, it's a solid enough horse. I'm not talking stakes winners or anything here, but solid enough.
Mm-hmm.
The next field was shit.
Nothing's come out. Yeah, again, nothing's come out of there to win. Well, and you can't say it's shit because Sorrento Sky.
No, the next field I meant.
Oh, right. The field for the mile and 8th race. So then if we go to the mile and 8th race, which was start number 2, you just get the feeling the horse was.
Here, let's do it head on. I want to see how significant the break was here we were in the 4.
You're watching the debut. You're back. You're still on the debut here. Okay.
No, am I on the debut? Oh, my bad. I actually hit the wrong one.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, Dylan. He's trying to see the head on of the debut, I think.
Oh
no, I want to see the head on of the
okay.
next race.
My bad.
Yeah, so we were in the 4 hole. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to see, you have to go to head on. Yeah. There we go.
Let's see how bad it was here.
It's not too bad. It's a bump, but it's not too bad.
A little bit of a slight stumble, but
yeah.
I forgot you break from the dirt going a mile and an 1/8.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, and there's really nothing about. Let's watch the replay now. I guess may as well watch the whole replay. It's not bad. I mean, the horse doesn't have a bad trip. It's just it was going from 6.5 to a mile and an 1/8.
4 hole.
And just kind of behind the field the whole way, and then we'll all pay attention for like the last. The last furlong or so, which is not bad. It looks like again the horse has the ability to accelerate, just may have found itself too far out of it and not in contention in here.
And on the inside comes Baltazar, who was just passed by British Isles, 5 lengths off the lead.
So this is
to the next flight, which is
24 feet out. Wow.
Okay, that's
speed, right?
Good to know. I mean, it's hard to close at Del Mar on the turf, in my opinion. If the rails are going to be at 24 feet, I don't have the data to back this up, but that makes it even tougher because the stretch becomes even shorter.
I think,
I'd agree.
In my opinion, it's a lot easier to close at Del Mar than it is Santa Anita.
Why do you think that is? Because I think the stretch just feels so much shorter at Del Mar.
I'm not sure why, but that's what I've noticed. You can close better at Del Mar.
So back to the replay. The 4 here is
we're starting to make a little move in the turn here.
Right, but I mean they went 3/4 in 1:12 and 3.
Maybe a mile and 8's too long. I don't know. Let's see how we.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping like the mile distance really splits the difference between 6.5 and a mile and an 1/8. And again, the 4 here is never going to threaten, but this is an interested horse. After a race in a mile and an 1/8, still able to get some run in here.
Looks like it's trying. It's trying to just hit a brick wall, huh?
Yeah, it just ran out of time and it was never going to win. And then again, we're going to get a gallop out here. So basically, it was last of that first of the main pack, and
they're kind of wide out there too.
Through the gallop out. I mean, nothing exceptional, but still the horse is still running, as you can see. I mean,
Maybe
So-
we get busy on it earlier, cutting back, and
Right.
it should be perfect.
Yeah. And then the other thing I want to show you is let's watch like the last race, the dirt race. I think it's worth watching this replay too, because I think you'll notice something again towards the end of the race. There's a runoff winner in here. The 2 and the 4 runoff. I mean, they just annihilate this field. At the end of the race, it's completely collapsed.
We're in the 1 hole.
Are we the 1 horse here?
Yeah.
Okay. So people can be their own judge as to whether or not this horse is really handling the dirt. I didn't see anything that awful, but it didn't look as fluid or as comfortable as it did over the turf. It's worth noting Dan Blacker has won with 3 of his last 8 starters going dirt to turf. So it's something he has experience doing. We're kind of up a little close here. The horse is maybe trying to like get up in there a little bit, and the rider's kind of, I wouldn't call it a check or a shuffle, but it just doesn't seem like it's getting a chance.
Slightly uncomfortable a little bit, but not too bad.
Spot. If you bet the 1 here, I don't think you're thinking you're looking like a winner. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look
Too
great.
much hand movement.
Yeah. But the real thing is going to come when the race is already over. I want you to, there's going to be a point here when they turn for home where you think the horse is going to finish dead last by a long way.
Yeah, this doesn't look good right here.
Right. And then it doesn't have to hear a sheet. I'm really bad with misgendering.
They're colts.
Yeah, you better not misgender these horses.
They're colts. Hey,
Gender
females
horse.
can run in this race if they want to.
So look, don't you think we're last now? Don't you think?
I think you're going to pull up.
Right, exactly. But now, and you really honestly can't even see the horse the whole way. You have to watch the chicklets. But here, the horse kind of re-engages, and just like that, has passed. He's going to finish 4th.
That's weird. Yeah, it looked like he was going to just back out of it and
Right.
wrap
the
up
winner,
and
forget the winner.
run
The
dead
winner
last.
ran off, 2nd place, long way, boom, and then
Yeah, I see that.
4th. And then on the gallop out, I think also now we're 3rd on the gallop out. Who really cares about that? But in a second, we're going to be 2nd on the gallop out. I think the horse has ability. Is a mile going to be the perfect distance for this horse? I don't know. There it is. I mean, he's still running.
Yeah.
So I just think there's more here with this horse, and I think the 6.5 to 1.1 miles was probably too much too soon, and now we're back to a mile. You know, the career debut, the horse showed some willingness to run. The post sucks, no question. The post is terrible because the run there in these mile races at Del Mar to the first turn, we don't have a ton of time, so Hector Berrios is going to have to save some ground. Okay, there's no doubt. But if Hector can avoid being 3 wide around the entire clubhouse turn and can maybe not lose contact early and can avoid being 2.5 to 3 wide around the far turn, then you've got a horse here who has shown ability as a first-time gelding. Looks like it was gelded right after that last race.
Yeah, these dates are always whacked out. I think that's only when you report it, but it definitely
that could be.
probably happened. It says it reported before the last wait.
No, June
No,
11th.
after.
No, it was gelded since the last race.
Yeah, it was. Okay. I thought that
But
was
also,
July.
like, I think I've heard like you need a little time after a gelding to get the horse back at top form. I mean, and it's been almost a month and a half.
Yeah. Well, it's had how many drills?
Month and 14 days.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, that his numbers are just as fast, going a mile are just as fast as any other horse in here. A lot of these other horses have got faster numbers, but they're sprinting, so that doesn't always translate.
Right.
And if we look at, I think I did this last night. I looked at the time form US pace figure line.
It's going to be a slow. I think it's going to be a slow pace now.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean,
The 7 crawls maybe.
If the horse can stay in contact, that's the thing I think that kills a horse's chances on turf is when they lose contact early.
Yeah.
And they're just out of it. It's like now there's too much to do, and now you got this 3 horse who looks like he's probably faster. He's coming on. He hadn't raced since October. I think we're going to get 15-1 on the 11. Maybe I'm dreaming there, but I think we're going to get a price.
You should get that.
And maybe you just key this horse. I mean, I think the 4 is probably got a shot in here. The 3 we know is good.
I think the 7 is one that you just, it'd be hard for it not to hit the board if it has its running shoes on, just because
They've
of the
always
pace.
liked the horse a lot.
Yeah, it should be tough to deal with in here, and it's one I'll have underneath for sure, or around on top with our pick on the 11.
Juan Hernandez gets the mouth on the. Where's Edwin? Edwin's on the 6 for Leonard Powell. I think the 6 is live. This is the thing where I get afraid of focusing too much on the exotics, where it's like I like a horse. Now there's 4 or 5 horses I could easily see winning or running second. So this is where I just say, you know what, I'm going to make a win bet, maybe even the dreaded win place bet on the 11, and just hope that I'm right.
Well, the 11, Dylan, we can win out there, right? I mean, DMR is a short meet.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to. I mean, Hector Barrios is going to have to get very lucky or drop back to save ground. It's going to take a mirror. I mean, the only other thing that I could see that I could maybe see happening in here, and this is almost too silly to suggest, but you sometimes see things like this. What if they send the horse out of the gate? Like this horse did debut in a sprint. Yes.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, how come it didn't show any speed routing off that sprint?
Well, because it was back early. I mean,
well, technically it bumped or whatever break, but
Well,
it wasn't that bad. But
it would require a change in tactic. I mean, look, they gelded the horse. Who knows? I mean, I'm looking at the workouts. I don't see anything here that screams, "Oh, we're going to send this horse now." I mean, the workouts are just moderate. So I don't think they would send the 11, but it'd be one way to save ground. I don't know what's going to happen. I wish I did, but I think,
look,
yeah,
the price is right. That's the 15-1 should get it right. Or
yeah.
no? Maybe not after you talked about it, but
Dylan said yes. So I think anyway.
okay.
So tall last work. This is just what it says. Tall and turfy maiden is quirky, but under wraps in a sneaky sharp breeze.
Okay. Sneaky sharp. I like that for 15
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that sneaky sharp race?
This last work, tall and turfy maiden is quirky, but under wraps in a sneaky sharp breeze.
Sneaky sharp breeze. Okay. So how does that translate to?
I mean, he's gonna have to get over, but you don't need. It doesn't matter what your, the trip is gonna be. It's like, I don't know about this, but you're gonna get paid for it because he's,
And I got this from Adam. Can we decipher this?
Yeah. Race you up.
Yeah, that's just probably from one of these workouts things. Let me check.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just
yeah. So Fresu actually worked him out
2 starts ago. Yeah.
All right.
Now we get Hector. So
I don't think that. Yeah, this isn't. There's a lot of, when the quote unquote best horse hasn't raced since in 9 months. I mean,
right, and then you've got Fresu's on the 3-1 second choice for Peter Miller. That one's going from 6.5 to a mile. And
yeah, and Pete's training for speed and probably going to go. He had, his horses like to be on or near the lead. Going
and I think the 10 could run a very big race in here. I think the the 9 for D'Amato is also going from a sprint to a route. I mean, there's nothing I look at in here and say that horse is a toss. Maybe some of the bigger prices that but I mean, any of these could step up and run huge. The 2 looks a bit on the overmatched side. The 1's D'Amato going from
yeah. And it says troubled trip. I mean, I didn't watch the replay, but I'm probably going to go $5 try 11 over 4 horses for $60.
And I'll probably just play the 11 to win, maybe even to win.
And I'll do a win bet. and backwards, and I'll do like exactas, but this horse will be a $30 horse, and I if it wins, I want it.
So that's it for me on Del Mar. If anybody else has anything they want to talk about, we can go to Colonial. Just as long, if I could just get one tweet from somebody that knows if Colonial is going to be on the turf or not. Why is there nothing here about it?
I wanted to show you guys the 7th at Hawthorne today, actually, because get your input.
Let's do that. Why don't we do that while I'm searching Twitter?
So we have Hard to Fathom in this race.
Is that today? Nice.
Yeah, today. We don't know if we're going to scratch or not because it's yielding. They took the maiden race off the turf in race 3, and they're leaving this one up, and I think the 5th. There's some good horses in here. This is a 3-year-old making its debut against Older. My notes on it was never faced Older. The 2, probably better sprinting are my notes here. I don't know about going 2 turns at the optimum level. The 3 is a block runner. You always have to respect it. But my note on that, it just had that one good race 2 back. You know, you always have to respect Chris Block, though. And of course, you have another mystery who's an old war horse, 700,000 in earnings, deserving favorite.
I recognize that horse. I know that name.
Yeah, this horse has won a lot of races. He's a 9-time winner, and like I said, he's made $750,000 almost. A little bit longer in the tooth, so finally in for a tag here. Leading the charge is one that I kind of like a little bit. Might run big second off the layoff, but it is in for a tag. Now, if you're looking at the tag and you're wondering why this is 50 and the other one's 75, Illinois breds can run for 75,000 in this race, and open company for 50. Yeah, it's just the way the condition is. But this horse likes to win and looks interesting. Now, Hard to Fathom had a trip note last time, got completely smashed at the start and lost to a really nice runner from Oaklawn named Pat's Property. 2 back, 1 powerfully, but has some good races as a 3-year-old on synthetic.
By the way, look at Daniel Simonovic's win percentage.
Yeah, he was in the 30s, but he's been running these cheap maidens that we're trying to crack a win with, and kind of knocks down his winning percentage, but hopefully we'll get back up into the 30s.
The 30s? You're going to get some people knocking on your barn door if you're staying in the 30s.
We're going to get up, what, you new owners like you guys, or?
No, the authorities.
Ah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Now HISA, they're HISA, or however you want to say it. They're always sticking horses, in the whole barn there, not just there, but other horses. It's just, I don't understand. But anyway, Hard to Fathom is, I watch this horse train a lot, and you guys saw the video of him coming off the track in full tack the other day, and DeCaspers called me and said, man, that horse looks good. He's just an awesome mover, and he couldn't be doing better, and he can run all day. And his lone turf start was a mile at Gulfstream. He just ran terribly. No Lasix, got bumped at the start and just packed it in. But he has come back and run really good on synthetic. And a mile and an eighth he won on synthetic. Maybe that could equate to a mile on yielding. Would you run this horse on a yielding turf course?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you guys.
I wouldn't even know how to give you a meaningful answer on that question.
And this is a speed fade candidate in the outside the 7. And of course, these are also eligibles. But I would love to give this horse a crack on the turf. We're just worried about the yielding, but I know it will outrun it. 12-1 would be a pipe dream, in my opinion. First of all, I wouldn't let it go off at 12-1 because I know how well it's doing. But anyway, I think if we do decide to run, I don't know. I have a lot of question marks on some of these. I do like the 5. I think the 5 can, but it's in for a tag, so that's a question mark. Another mystery is not as fast as it used to be, although that last race was good on a yielding. But one good race here. I need to see 2 better sprinting for the 2, and the 3-year-old could be the now horse, but you're facing older for the first time, so I don't know. I'll have to talk to the guys, but anyway, hard to fathom doing good if we run.
I want
I'll
to
have a
see.
limit.
I want to see Danny's win percentage get up to 33 by August.
We have 3 horses in on Sunday as well.
Are you going? I see the horse is owned by Anthony and Davey.
Yeah, I'm going down.
What's the winner's share of the purse?
It's not a big purse. What is it? 30-something thousand, 34,000. So
Yeah, that's 19,000.
yeah, not bad. So anyway, I wanted to throw that one out there. 12-1. All I know is this horse is doing really well. So that's the family horse of the day.
The family horses they run, they cash checks.
Yeah.
I like what your dad's put together, all you guys.
We got 6 being shipped in today from Arkansas. Lady J is going to come up. We talked to Carl. We're going to give her a little bit of time off and then run her later in the meet. And then
Carl.
we have Catholic Sue coming up too. She's won 1 race. So those 2 from Carl are coming up. And then we have 2 from California. I don't know if you remember Auspicious Style.
Yeah.
But that one's getting on a bus on August 7th, along with a 3-year-old that has 1 or 2 starts.
How many horses in the family barn?
Well, by August 7th, there's going to be 22 horses on the grounds at Hawthorne.
Christ.
And then I haven't followed Ravelli's big owner, Vinny, but what does your dad have a shot at leading owner?
Well, we got in there late. You always have a shot if you get more horses in there. We do have like 5 2-year-olds, I think. So you're probably going to get at best 1 or 2 starts out of all of those. But yeah, you never know. I mean, that's not the goal. I guess the goal is to, who knows? We'll see.
Your dad, and at the final Golden Gate meet, your dad was up there on the leaderboard at one point. Wasn't he?
Yeah, and that meet there with Jack, we I mean, they DQ'd us and we just pulled out. It was one of the worst DQs that cost me a Pegasus seat in a Hawthorne contest. Speed Grazy ranged up, didn't even touch a horse, eyeballed a horse, and they said it was intimidating or something.
Yeah.
Didn't touch it, didn't make it alter course or anything really. It was just, they were both running straight and we came like this. That horse was still running straight and they said you can't do that. I don't know.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you intimidate another horse?
So no word on Colonial being off, even though I kind of think it's maybe going to be. You want to tackle these last 2 Colonial races?
Yeah, let's pull it
When I
up.
say last 2, I mean they're the last 2 opinions I have today. So
Let me find Colonial.
let's go to we'll start with race number 6, Colonial Downs today. And if anybody's watching and can maybe flip through Twitter, horse racing Twitter, and tell us if Colonial's made any kind of announcements about the turf today. I know about the delay. I know they're delaying their first post by an hour. But I know they got some rain last night. They had to have. I was kind of watching the radar. So if anybody can check and see if they've made an announcement, that would help. That would help save some time, perhaps. Race 6 at Colonial. So there are a couple in here that we know for a fact are going to get bet. It's the 3 and the 4. The morning line 8-5 favorite is the 4. The second choice, the 3, is 3-1, and I think those horses are without a doubt going to get play. but there are two that I want to draw your attention to, and I'm not sure how I'm going to play it yet. The number 7, Katie's a Lady, and if you flip through the running lines, 2 back and then 3 back, you will see that this one went toe to toe with a horse named A Primera Vista, who, Steve, you and I talked about her. She won 3 times at the Tampa meet in wire-to-wire fashion, which is very, very, very hard to do. In fact, I'm incorrect. She won 3 in a row. She actually won. No, yeah, she won 3.
But she did win 3 times at Tampa, wire to wire.
She won on January 3rd, April 7th, and May 4th, all 3 times in a row, all 3 at Tampa. If you take out the Florida Oaks, the grade 3, where I think she was 100-1 literally in that race. And then she ran at Saratoga last week in an off the turf race. She ran and lost by a nose. So she's a serious filly. It's very hard to win wire to wire at Tampa on the turf. It doesn't happen a lot. She did it 3 times. She's no joke. And Katie's a Lady, the 7 horse today, went up against her early, both times getting trips of death to her.
Yep.
And wasn't able to win. And then came back at Monmouth, got another trip of death, and ran second to a filly named Lady Arsenault, who routinely puts up buyers in the 80s or the high 70s, and I believe would probably be among the favorites in here. Maybe not favored, but she'd be up there. So the point is that Katie's a Lady has run against some good ones, and in here today, every reason to believe she is going to be completely alone on the lead in not a big field. The 3, Lukewarm, has 2 consecutive wins, both of them on the lead. She's not getting the lead today. And now, does that mean she can't win? Not necessarily. But I just think, given the fact that she's going to be taken out of the running style she's shown.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're on the outside of that one, and hopefully we can cross over the 2. Boy, going a mile and 49 and 2 last time. I mean, I don't see that happening. Getting the lead. So
I think the 7 gets the lead and is going to be, not easy to run down.
It's a 7-horse field. Nobody on our outside. Break clean. Has been the beaten favorite 3 times in a row. So we're finally going to get a price.
Yeah, but there's another horse in here that I'm going to use in exotics, and I'll probably play, honestly, in the top spot in an exacta. If I'm right about the other 2 horses not being ready, the 7 has the lead late. The 6, Theric, for Jonathan Thomas. I watched the replays. He just lost to today's 3, Lukewarm, last time out as the favorite, but it was way off the pace. They went the half in 50 seconds, and Lukewarm was just able to steal it. One horse in there, Tiki Bar, has already come back to run a big race. Surya, who was 5th, came back and improved the buyer. So again, not that I'm saying I think buyers are everything, but it was a solid enough race that day. And the fact that Theric was coming from out of it against a loose leader who went slow, you have to kind of, I think, move up that horse's chances today. This one ran, some ho-hum races out in California, but both those were at 1.25 miles. Hit the board at Turfway at 1.125 miles in a strong enough race at Woodbine. Did run second of 6th. Won a race at Kentucky Downs before that. I admit I'm probably a little bit biased towards horses that win races at Kentucky Downs, but I think the 6 is also live in here. So for me, it's probably going to be a win bet on the 7. Maybe if the horse gets bet down, maybe I just play some exactas with the 7 on top. But I also think the 6 is one you have to respect. And depending on the tote board, I could end up playing the 6 to win this race.
Oh, okay.
I like the 7.
All right, so we'll box them at the very least.
Yeah.
We'll pay attention to the tote board.
Yes, I think that's the thing to do. I think I think if the 7 gets run down late, it's not going to surprise me if it's the 6 that does it.
Okay. Yeah.
Does Carl have it? I'm not sure if Carl's even following along Colonial.
Yeah, Carl's in deep thought right now. He's got his hand on his chin. He's like the thinking statue, man.
Yeah, Carl may have woken up and engaged in some.
And Nick the Kid's got some information for us. Yeah, Nick, we talked about this like an hour ago.
Yeah, and 5 minutes ago. Thanks for contributing, Nick.
Hey, you guys be nice.
I know. I'm bitter, Nick. Nick broke my balls a weekend ago when I went 0 for 3.
Oh yeah.
And he hit it. Yeah.
We have not had many days where we don't give out at least one winner. I mean, we whether it's on Twitter or on the show, we have not had many break even or worse days. We've been having winning days, and Nick the Kid decided on the one day where I go 0 for 3 to break my balls. So Nick's on my shit list, and he's going to stay there until I decide he's off it. So
listen, you can rip on our picks, but if we're rooting for a team, we have a rooting interest, and you're ripping on it because the team lost, that's where you cross the line.
How dare you?
My final play.
Jordan said the 8-5 favorite in that turf sprint at Saratoga is scratched.
Oh, okay. Well, we should, before we go off the air here, we should go back and check those to see if what other scratches there are. Because
I'm looking at. I started looking at Saturday Del Mar. So
okay. Hey, that's great, Dylan. We'll be sure to include you on Saturday. Then
Saturday, we got action today, tomorrow. This guy's already looking at Saturday.
Hey, my final play of the day, Steve-O. We can move away from the 6th race and go to the 10th race at Colonial.
Okay.
For the final trick of the day. There are 3 horses in here that are going to attract the bulk of the attention, in my opinion.
State bred, huh? So these are.
Well, it's state bred or state sired. So you've got some Kentucky breds in here.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I'm slightly unclear on why they are allowed. It's for Virginia restricted fillies and mares. So how the Kentucky breds get in here?
You got Maryland breds. You got on tour. I don't know it must be the sire.
It's or the mayor spent time in Virginia. Who the hell knows? Who the hell really knows?
Andy, right? No, it can't be the sire. It has to be. Yeah, it has to be the mayor. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
So the 3 that are going to get bet, and it's justifiable, are the 7, the 9, and the 11. Those are your 3 most likely winners on paper. The 11 has run well before, almost won a race at Keeneland, then won a race at Santa Anita. The 9 is a serious horse. The 11 in her last start lost to a filly you and I know very well.
Oh, damn! That's a nice company line.
It is, and she's a serious horse. And then the 7 for Graham Motion came out of 2 waiver claiming races at Laurel, where it was in for 45, but you couldn't claim the horse. I forget what the rules are for why you couldn't claim that. That's what that W means in the past performances.
Yeah, it's just a waiver claimer, and Oakland has the same thing.
Maryland breds, they can't be claimed in there.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. So. So it may as well have been running in a maiden special weight, but just against weaker competition. So the 7, the 9, the 11, gun to my head, who completes the exacta or the try-in here? It's those horses. The 4. I'm sorry, the 5 is also going to get plenty of attention, and that's justifiable. Serious horse just won, broke the maiden at Monmouth. The horse that I'm interested in here, the horse that is a little bit sneaky, and is probably going to get the kind of trip it's going to take to crash the exacta, is the 3, Waridi Candy for Horatio De Paz.
Waridi
links up with the rider who was aboard for the maiden special weight win at Laurel last November. Steve-O, can we watch the replay of this horse's first start back off the layoff, the June 8th race at Laurel.
Yes.
This was a
Number 3.
yes, it's the 3 horse in the replay.
On your course. Mile, rail 52.
Yeah, let's turn off Dave Rodman because I
Yeah.
can't listen to his ass. I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy, but his calls are just annoying. So we're the 3 here. Not a noteworthy break. Kind of advancing into the clubhouse turn, takes a little bit of a step outward and goes wide. Looks like about roughly the 3 path, and is going to stay in that spot.
What? Who are we watching?
Side, right about mid pack.
We're looking at
What number?
The 3 horse who is on the outside now moving from 1, 2.
we're the 3 in this race and also in the race of the day today. So number 3 here.
The 3 in today's race, the 3 also in the replay.
Edie Candy.
Yeah.
All right.
Looks like we're just outside the 8 here. If you're watching the bottom.
Here we are in the white silks with the black cap right here.
We're in between the 8 and the 11.
Looks like he's keen to go.
Right. And then watch what happens here. You're about the 5/16ths. You're going to see. If you blink, you'll miss it. Right there.
Yep, I saw it. A little bit of a hi-ho.
Big time tech shuffle. And when that happens in a turf race, it's so hard to get re-engaged. But the rider is asking again, and the horse didn't quit. You would often expect the horse to quit when that happens. And the horse is still moving on, okay? Still moving, not a threat to win. The 5 blows by everybody.
5's gone. We don't have to worry about that one.
But that shuffle really took the horse out, and I think would have been much, much, much closer had it not been for that check in the first start.
And it was the first race off of the layoff, so probably needed it.
Yeah. And then in start number 2, we don't need to watch the replay here, but the horse did something that it hadn't done before, and that was go to the lead. And you can see in the previous starts, this one it does have the one race at Colonial Mononate where it ended up on the lead, but that was a small field, and they didn't go very fast at all. That's the September race of 2023. But last time out, went to the front and hadn't done it before. Got to think that's not the preferred running style. And in here today, we've got others that do show more speed and will likely be more forwardly placed. The aforementioned 9 is one of them. The 2 on Timeform US projects to be up much more forward. I think the 3 gets a rail trip. And from there, it might just come down to, is she good enough? And my guess is probably not. But 15-1, the better horses are to the outside. Maybe a perfect trip combined with a little bit of a closing kick means the 3, plus being reunited with the winning jock, maybe the 3 crashes the exacta and who knows, somehow steals the race. So the play in here is the 3, Waridi Candy.
Okay. Listen, it's 15-1. Is that what it was?
Yep.
I'm never going to poo-poo that maiden breaker. If we can run like that and improve a little bit, that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
And I think you're right. It did have slight trouble in that one replay we watched. It was off a layoff. I was more concerned. I think it needed a race. The last race, you're right, it got taken out of its element. Like the tactics were kind of weird. What's the morning line? 15-1?
Yeah.
All right. Then,
by the way, back to Saratoga.
I got the race up.
We do have the scratches up at Saratoga. The 8, as a viewer mentioned, the 8-5 favorite in that turf sprint stakes race is scratched. And then we also have the scratches for the 3rd race, which are just the MTOs. So everybody remains in the field in race 3. That's the race where we have the 1A in time. And I also thought the other half of the entry is really live as well. So you kind of get, extra bang for your buck there. I could see them both winning. And
all right, let me refresh this. All right, here we are. Yeah. All right. So is did they scratch it out of here? Or am I missing something?
What are you on? You're on the Chirp Sprint, right?
Yeah.
You're on the wrong race.
Which one are we looking at?
Well, the Church Sprint's the race where the favorite scratch. We were 3 deep in here, the 2, 7, the 9 in that race. But race 3 is
race
the race
3.
where we had the play of the day, the semi-soft play of the day, because it's going to be 9-2 and
We like the 1A.
The 1A, really the whole entry I think is strong. And if we're going to get 9-2 on both halves of the entry, you get them both. I mean, that's to me, these horses can run 1-2.
Are we still going to get this price?
That's what I don't know. To me, the 1A is, I think, the most likely winner, because I think the horse is going to be just loose as can be around 3 turns.
9, 10, 11.
But may just not be good enough. When you've got some others in here, like the 7, of course, Idea Generation is graded stakes placed, but it's a layoff. And then, I think the 8 High Stick is also going to be able to run well at the distance. Has a win. The one win for the 8 came at a mile and a quarter. We're just a little farther here. I think with the 8, you got to be worried about either the trip of death or just not being able to run down the 1A. So people decide for themselves how to bet it. If we're getting 9-2, I'm playing the entry to win, and then probably just waiting for the 9th and trying to box the 2, 7, the 9.
Okay, so why I was confused in the stake, the 8-5 favorites out, the 11 did get in star guest in the stake, and it does look formidable.
And that's the Charlie Appleby horse, which I kind of ignored a little bit because I didn't think it would get in the race.
Yeah.
But here it has, and that this you're talking about. Well, no group stakes experience, but you have to respect absolutely everything from Charlie Appleby and Godolphin. Wide post. It's a wide post. I think the European horses, I kind of feel like they're more dangerous and they have a better edge over American horses when it's at a route of ground, maybe not in the sprints. But look, this one has a bullet work on July 20th.
Yeah, it just worked a bullet, and look at all that weight it was carrying. Now you get 118 from 134. Pratt is in the irons. It might get overbet. I don't know. Maybe they forget about it. You know how also eligibles are. Like they get in and people just they ignore them. A lot of this horse you can't ignore though.
Well, if you read the notes, and it's going backwards. It was prominent early. Before that made all. So this horse likes to be up close in a race where we already decided the pace is going to be fast, and we're kind of with the 2, 7, 9. We're hoping the race just completely falls apart.
Right.
And three good horses that they don't lose contact early. They stay close enough, and that their finishing kick is enough to get past the rest of the field. So again, I don't really like 3 horse exacta box. I don't like the exacta boxes at all. Never mind 3 horse boxes, but it might be a time when it's appropriate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm gonna have to think how I'm gonna bet this race. It's gonna be fun though.
Yeah, it is. And I don't have anything else to talk about. Unfortunately, we didn't get any decisions here about Colonial while we were on the air.
Wow, we got almost 300 people on, 280 people.
Well, you know why, Steve-O? It's because they know that Coffee with Dew, and really all the shows on your channel, we produce winners.
They just give out winners.
We make people money. I think we're dealing with several days in a row here where
I don't know.
We haven't blanked.
Marco was talking about Appleby.
Marco,
TOD.
We got scratch Colonial.
We have a scratch?
Well, we have scratches are posted on the Colonial Twitter feed. So I'm just going to very, very quickly go in. I'm going to work backwards. I know I had my play in the 10th.
I have to go back and write all this down. I have to go back and re-watch this.
Okay, the scratches in the 10th are the 7 and the 8th. That's active, the motion horse. The 7 and the 8 are scratched in the 10th, but that doesn't affect our 3. And the 9 and the 11, who are the favorites in here, they remain in, and the 4 also remains. I'm sorry, the 5 remains in. So in the 10th at Colonial, according to the Colonial Twitter feed, scratch the 7 and the 8, and then in race 6, okay, we're scratching the 4, who's the 8 to 5. What is Grand Motion scratched? Both his big horses scratched the 4, the 8 to 5 favorite.
Is there something going on with him that we don't know about?
I don't know, but the 6 is also scratched. So what that means is the 4, 8 to 5 favorite is scratched, and it means the 6, our other horse that I really liked, is out. That means the 7 gets a very easy lead, but is also going to be 2 to 1. So there's no value there at all. There's literally
So
no
we hammer a win bet. We just hammer it.
I mean, it's not worth it to me. The 7 horse should romp in Colonial 6th race, but you're going to get no value at all. And the 6 that I was excited about as a price is out.
Well, let's find out who's going to run second and do like $100 straight exacta. No, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No, that makes sense. The Walsh runner, the 1.
Why is this not updated though? You said the 6 is out and it's not updated on Formulator.
No, it's formulated because it hasn't been put into the tote system yet. All Formulator does is draw from the tote system.
Okay.
And this is only on.
I don't have nothing updated here.
But
wait, you said the 2 is out, and who else?
When did I say the 2 is out?
Oh, no, you didn't say the 2. Who's out? 6 and who? The 3?
In race 6, the 4 and the 6.
4 and the 6. Okay.
And then in race 10, the 7 and the 8. And there are other scratches. I'm only reading the ones from the races that I said, but
10, the 7 and the 8.
But our 3 remains in race 10. So
yeah, we like this is our bomb that we like.
Yeah, that's an interesting horse, and we're still going to get a good price. So I like it.
All right, and then 11, I do like that 11 that we talked about earlier. Was that at Del Mar?
That was in the finale at Del Mar. Del Mar's 8th race.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Actually. Oh, they already have a scratch list. Oh, the 14 was already scratched. Never mind. So we obviously don't have scratches for Del Mar yet. It's 7.
All right, so we got to just sort all this out and put everything together. I'm gonna be putting my bets together and winging some $5-10 tries, and maybe I'll do a. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that 7 there.
I don't want to see Justin's horse pay $28 and we get a text. Oh man, I was.
Rich is going to be like,
the cows, and I was, doing everything.
Rich is going to be like, I was on top of I was in the Alps. I was in the Swiss Alps. I missed it.
No, I'm not going to be. I'm not
Rich. Did you see those photos, by the way, that he posted?
They're beautiful.
Unbelievable. I mean, you
Justin's
could basically
I don't give a shit.
Dude, you could frame each of those photos and hang them up in your house. Maybe he should be a photographer. He can work for the track and take win photos.
What do you think, Justin? Justin, what's the most beautiful thing you've seen in your life?
Other than my wife?
Yeah, like land, what's the most beautiful thing you've seen? You think?
I take questions like this very seriously, probably far more seriously than you were thinking.
No, but this is good.
I'd have to really think about that. I mean, I have seen some. I've been to a place in California called Monterey.
Yeah.
And we were at this restaurant that was right on the ocean. It was a bunch of rocks and waves, and that was really nice. That comes to mind. I really like. I've seen some Las Vegas sunrises that were pretty amazing. So that would be up there. I went to college in Kentucky, and I've seen some beautiful Kentucky bluegrass rolling hills mornings. So that would be up there.
With some morning dew on it.
Morning dew. The south of France is very pretty. You know,
I got two. I got two. One's more of a like a mysterious, unbelievable event. I was at the full eclipse in the infield at Oaklawn Park just recently, and that was witnessing that live was pretty spectacular. Like I didn't think it was going to be that cool. Everything got real dark and cold, and it wasn't like the half eclipse that most of the people got to witness when you're like right there in that line of the full eclipse. It was first time I ever experienced that. And second, or probably the best thing that I ever visited, was the Ostrog monastery on top of a mountain in Montenegro.
Montenegro.
Yeah, you could hear butterflies floating around, crickets. Like everything's quiet up there, but you can see the whole valley, and it's like it doesn't look real. So
Cool.
those are the two things for me. Now you got to tell us, Dylan. Is it turkey feathers?
Turkey feathers.
it's,
No,
it's the bird over his shoulder that he killed. That's the most beautiful. It's so beautiful he had to kill it.
Look at
That's
that
the
thing.
sandhill crane. You remember that, Justin?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Wait a minute, it's raining.
I
think
saw
it's
Aurora
raining right
Borealis.
now.
I saw them.
Wait a minute, wait,
Lights.
Justin, we got to hear Dylan's
This
great.
guy doesn't. He just says it, and then he just goes back on it, and he just nope. I don't
Man,
care what you guys have.
Justin's
to say.
poo-pooing on Dylan's moment.
You're right. You know what? That was rude. I saw a weather report for Virginia, and I just blurted out what I saw. Dylan, please continue your thought. I'm sorry.
At least look interested. Andy doesn't even look interested.
I'm interested. Let's hear it.
Steve-O. It'll block him out. I saw the Northern Lights in Canada.
Oh, damn.
That was amazing. And then Scotland was pretty breathtaking. So I think those are two.
When you went to Scotland, you went by the sea, by the shore, and saw a lot of cool things, or were you more inland? Yeah.
We went to everywhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of scenes of Game of Thrones was filmed there and in
Harry Potter.
Off the coast of Croatia and Montenegro, actually. But that's cool. I've never been to Scotland.
Scotland's beautiful.
Yeah.
The Northern Lights were awesome. We like pulled over, and my buddy's like, "Look," and we stopped the car and we just got out, and they were just dancing for like 20 minutes.
It's like greens and blues and purple.
Yeah, it was just you could hear they make a like noise too. It's just like
they do what?
They make like a little noise. You could like hear
what?
it.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's super cool.
That's crazy. Man.
Yeah.
There's so many places on Earth that we'll never see.
I know, like Justin's house.
Well, I've been at his other house, but nothing. You know.
Are you guys still talking about beautiful land? Or
things that we saw. It's good to appreciate that kind of thing. You know, I just like going to the track in the morning and watching the horse's breath in the cold air, or getting that cup of coffee at the. I tell you what, Clocker's Corner at Santa Anita is really cool.
Oh yeah, we hung out there. Justin couldn't give two shits about that, but
really,
no.
Come on, Justin. Man, me and Dylan got a photo with Kent DeSormo and hung out and bullshitted with him. And I don't know, there's just something about sitting out there watching everybody and
a little chilly. You see the mountains with just like the horse, the steam coming off. I get it.
Yeah, it's so cool. I like Clocker's Corner.
Very meditating. It's very very peaceful.
Justin, have you ever been to the track in the mornings?
Many times, probably not as many as you.
Do you not appreciate it?
No, I do. I've done it. For years I was writing for KentuckyDerby.com, so I was out in the mornings at church when I was during Derby week. That was awesome. I mean, I was like, rubbing shoulders with tons of
Grand motion.
That was so cool. And then I've been to a couple Breeders' Cups at Santa Anita and watched morning workouts there. That's a beautiful place for sure. Keeneland is beautiful in the morning. In college, I used to work at Keeneland as a mutual clerk, and
I never knew this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was a mutual clerk. No, I didn't work in this strike actually. I was a buddy of mine worked there during a mutual clerk strike and told me how much money he made. So then the strike ended, and then I went up and applied for a job. I worked there during a spring meet and then the following fall meet, and we got like $19 an hour which for a college kid is like just
Wow.
an obscene amount of money. This is in 1996, I think it was. I did that, and then when I wasn't a musical career at Keeneland, I was there anyway, just betting horses, skipping class at Eastern Kentucky University, and going to Keeneland. So Keeneland's beautiful. Been to Gulfstream Park a bunch in the morning.
I'm trying to find my hot walker's license. Speaking of working at the track, I don't know.
I'd love to walk.
I got it somewhere in here, but Dylan, they crack me up, man.
What did Dylan? Did you just send him a text or something about me?
No, he had a little joke that you didn't catch. That was
no.
Only
He
Dylan. We love Dylan's humor.
He said, I got to find my hot walker's license. I said, man, I'd love to walk.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to Hawthorne today. I think I got to find out if we're scratchy or not, if we're going to run in that race. So you guys didn't seem like you didn't want to get any input on that. Whether
I didn't. I mean, I don't
try the race.
The
or
horse has it. The horse has it. I mean, I couldn't bet the horse, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last thing I want to say is you should scratch and the horse draws off and wins by 6. I don't.
The horse is doing really well. Doing really well. And did have a trip note in that last.
yeah. I'm taking Frank to dinner tomorrow.
Oh, Frank's out there
He's coming out
for the big
tomorrow.
for the big contest, right?
Where are you taking him?
The Pamplemousse. It's a fancy place. I don't know what the hell he's gonna eat. They got chicken fingers probably,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's a disgrace because they have really good steak, but and like Wagyu, but he likes it like a hockey puck. So
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I can allow him to do that.
He likes his steak very well done.
He
My
sent
dad's
it
like
back.
that too.
He sent it back twice when we went to dinner. I was like, oh my god,
He's worse than me, huh?
dude. It was like this. He's like, ooh, my steak, yummy, just like brown and just.
Maybe you should tell them to have some peeps on inventory over there.
Peeps. No, he doesn't. I don't think he eats really that anymore.
Oh, he don't eat that anymore. His doctor said cool it.
Yeah,
I know we got HIPAA laws, but yeah.
Dr. Simonovich.
All right. Well, I got to wrap up here. I got to work. I got a business call at 11 a.m.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me some more coffee and write all this shit down. I didn't share all the graphics, and I'll post them again on our Twitter feed like I did yesterday, so everybody can kind of see what we're doing here.
Well,
Dylan, what are you doing today?
Today I am going to be studying the Saturday card at Del Mar.
Okay.
My son is in Vegas, so with some family, so I don't have that responsibility today. So
Okay.
I just gonna study, and I got a card game at 6:00 at my house tonight.
Oh, good.
I played in the big card game last night, and there's a track announcer who's in the who plays in the game, and he went on tilt last night. That was pretty cool.
Nice, man. Poker's always fun, and you're getting better at it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
He's getting better. You're growing up.
Look at you, Dylan, all grown up.
All right. I got to go, boys. See ya.
All right, guys. Later on.
Later.